Hey Mung Beans. I'm Joey.
I'm Ashley.
And this is Wine Time Mysteries.
If you're into true crime,
And if the paranormal gets your nips hard,
then this is for you. But before we get started,
make sure to follow us on Spotify and stalk us on Insta and TikTok.
or send your inquiries to winetimemysteries@gmail.com, and we promise to at least try to get back to you.
Lego! And you thought that it would be over with already. Sucked in.
Are you going to tell me who you're fucking doing today? Because you've kept it secret for a long time and it's really frustrating, and I just want to know who it is about. Thank you.
Listen, Mung Beans, she has been asking me over like the last week, and I just keep saying, no, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you. Even in the car today, she's like, can you just tell me who you're doing? I'm like, no. She's like, can you tell me where it is? I'm like, no.
Such a bitch.
Yeah. The only thing I gave you was that it has not been as bad as 3 of the last 4 I've done.
Yeah, because I don't know if you guys know this by now, but Joey just goes,
Ham.
yeah. And so I was trying to see if I should prepare myself for what kind of mood I'll be in on the drive home back to my house. Thank you.
I'm not Kroll the Warrior Kinging you today.
Okay, I'll shut my lips, all of them. That was my lip shutting.
Oh my god.
Take it away.
Well, my little Mung Beans, this week we are talking about Mary Ann Cotton, born Mary Ann Robson on October 31st, 1832, in Low Morsley, County Durham. That's right. I took a tiny little break from like Europe and the UK, and now I'm back there. Sorry, kids.
October 31st, what does that?
She's a Scorpio. She was born to Margaret and Michael Robson. Her mother was most likely the caregiver, given that at these times most women, #not all, were the primary caregivers and stayed at home to care for the children and to make sure that their male counterparts were taken care of. Fuck, I hate earthlings. I hate them. Humans, the worst. Her father was a colliery sinker. I know. Shut your face. I will tell you what the fuck that is. It is literally just a fancy way of saying a coal miner. Why didn't you just say fucking coal miner then? Well, listen, I'm just saying what was written on there, alright?
You know your best friend when he says exactly what you're thinking as you're thinking.
Right?
Fuck you.
Well, love you. He was a very religious man and a real fucker when it came to discipline. She had a little sister that was born in 1834, but would die a few months later. It is sad, but youth mortality was very high at this time. So it was kind of commonplace. Her little brother was born in 1835. That is all I heard of him. Didn't get a name. Didn't get a date of death. The family would move when Mary was around 8, but she had trouble making friends at her new school. And shortly after the move, her father fell 150 feet down a well and died.
Oh.
Pancakes, anyone?
Oh, fuck.
Too soon.
No.
Her mother remarried in 1943 to George Scott, but Mary fucking hated him. She was quoted as saying, "You're not my real dad, George, you fuck ass. You can't tell me what to do, stinky pants, jog on." Okay, she didn't actually say that. But I like the idea of teen angst in the early mid-19th century. So
Yeah. Like, what do they complain about? I've got nothing. I was like, I only know swear words.
What in tarnations? Oh, that's probably more American. Anyway, so at 16, she threw up some gang signs and then moved out because she wanted to become a nurse. But she would end up moving home after 3 short years because she was like, I can't do it. I want to be a dressmaker.
There's a bit of a change, yeah.
And I think her mum was a dressmaker, so she went home to learn from her. Don't quote me on that. In 1852, now 20, Mary married William Mowbray, a coal worker. Turns out she wanted someone a little bit like her dad.
Oh.
I don't have one, so I don't know.
Oh my God.
Not a biological one. My mum's with a very, very lovely man that I love a lot right now. But
we love him.
they would have 5 children together, but 4 would die of gastric fever. Oh. They would end up having and losing 3 more children before William died in 1865 of an intestinal disorder.
Yeah, I was going to say don't have kids, but I guess they didn't really have a lot of...
Up the bum, no babies. I say it every time.
Said it once, I'll say it again.
Come on my tits. Save me a lifetime of regret.
Sorry.
Mary was awarded a whopping £35 due to his life insurance, which was about a half year's wages for a labourer at the time. A half year's wages, £35?
Yeah.
£70 a year. Wait, 3.5 plus 3.7, 70. Yeah, 70 pounds a year. Get fucked.
Get fucked, fuck off.
After William passed away, Mary would meet Joseph Nattrass. Sounds like mattress, but
Yeah.
it's Nattrass, who was already engaged to another woman.
Oh.
Huge trifling hoe. But she didn't care until he actually went through with the wedding, which is when she decided to press pause on that and then move. But during this time, her 3.5-year-old daughter would also die, leaving her with one child out of the 9 that she had already given birth to.
Far out.
She would end up sending her last living child, Isabella, to live with her mother. I mean, would you do that?
No.
If I had lost them, I would probably want to keep the last one close. Personally.
Unless she thought it was her.
During this time, she was working at the Sunderland Infirmary, and while she was supposed to be working, she diddled one of the patients, a Mr. George Ward, who she would end up marrying in 1865. So that's her husband, number 2. Mummy, Daddy, may I have some more? Some more diddling, please?
Yeah.
Not from them.
No.
Just to be clear, George, however, was very sick the whole time and would die the following year after a long illness characterized by paralysis and intestinal problems. His doctor gave evidence that George had been very ill, but was kind of surprised at how quickly he went downhill. November of 1866, so that same year, Mary was hired as a housekeeper for Mr. James Robinson, whose wife had unfortunately recently passed away. And sadly, a short time later, I believe they said it was like a month, his baby would also die of gastric fever, and he turned to Mary for comfort. And by comfort, I mean a right old 19th century no-frills porking.
Oh. Yeah.
But if I could just like divert for a second. Have you ever thought about like olden days sassy talk?
I have.
And like, would they be sitting in there like...
I would like to take you out. Oh my George, you can't talk to me like that. I'm
Right.
married.
Oh, I'm meaning like when they're fucking. Like
yeah, no, I
dirty,
know.
sexy time talk.
I don't actually think about the sexy time talk. I just think about how disgusting and gross they are because obviously cleaning
Hygiene.
and hygiene back then wasn't a thing. So that's where my mind goes to.
I just think about
Dirty.
that because they're not going to be like, roll over, let me fuck your whole bitch. They're not going to say that kind of stuff.
Surely it was all missionary.
Let me
too.
fucking choke you out, cunt. They're
Yeah.
not going to say that kind of stuff. So it might be something like, I'm about to blow one's lump. Yes, well, jolly good.
Sure.
Or like, oh, look at that Yorkshire pudding.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
No, okay, well. I'm just using my imagination.
Yeah, you didn't think about that at all. No, not at all.
I didn't write it down right there.
No, not at all.
No.
No, I liked it.
Don't be foul, you filthy, filthy woman. She ended up getting knocked up, but got news that her mother was ill, so she immediately left to be with her. And even though she seemed to kind of be on the mend, she would die 9 days later after complaining of severe stomach pains in 1867.
There was some kind of bug I just do not want. No, thank you.
Same. Well, do you remember in one of the episodes we were talking about typhus? And you're like, what the fuck is typhus?
Yeah.
You can get gastric fever from typhus. So I don't know if they're implying that there was just a big old typhus outbreak.
Yeah.
The time frame would probably coincide with that.
Yeah.
So,
Like you said, it's just a bad time for everyone.
not good.
Staying alive.
Mary ended up taking her daughter Isabella back with her to the Robinson house, but she too would fall ill with stomach pains and die soon after. She was buried with 2 of James's other children, so the guy that she got knocked up to, who would die around the same time. All 3 children were buried in the last 2 weeks of August 1867. Fucking unfortunate, man.
No, thank you.
The 2 also married in August, and she gave birth to their daughter, Mary Isabella, who would also unfortunately live a very short life as she died the following year in March of 1868.
Far out.
There's just all these kids. It's such a bad time to have kids. Don't do it.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't have really protection and shit. That's what I was thinking.
Pull out. Come on my tum.
Well, probably back then they were like, nah, gravity, jump on.
Come at my bum. James became suspicious when she kept insisting that he take out life insurance on himself. Like, come on, love, at least try to be a little subtle. He found out that she had run up a debt of £60 behind his back and had stolen £50 that she was supposed to have deposited in their bank. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when he discovered that she had been forcing his children to pawn off family valuables to give her the money for. So he threw the bitch out. Dumb bitch.
Yes, just you dumb bitch.
Yeah. Now, desperate and living on the streets, she was introduced to Frederick Cotton by her best friend Margaret. And Margaret was like one of those really good sisters to her brother. She acted as a substitute mother for his 2 kids after his other 2 kids had passed away. But sadly, late March of 1870, Margaret would also die of an undetermined stomach ailment.
All right. Brussels sprout.
But who was there to pick up the pieces and take advantage of yet another grieving man? Mary Cunting Anne, that's who. You surprised?
No.
It wasn't long until Mary was full up with another load of baby gravy and now preggers for the 11th time. So gross. In September of 1870, Mary becomes Mrs. Cotton. Seems as though she didn't seem to care that she wasn't actually divorced from James, huh? See, bigamy was still very much illegal, but fuck it. I'm sure she felt that she had bigger fish to fry. Robert was born in 1871, but soon after, Mary learned that her old flame, Joseph Nattrass, was now living in a nearby village and was single. Ruh-roh. She took her old affair off pause and started getting freaky with Nattrass again. Sorry, but can you imagine how beat up that old beaver would be after 11 children have used it as a slip and slide?
Yeah.
Boom. Floom.
Ooh, that was a baby.
Oh, I just sneezed.
It's crying now.
Oh, gross. I say gross to the crying, but not to...
I was
something's
just
wrong
going to
with
make
me.
a bad joke. Said at least it's crying. Goodbye.
Unlike the other ones that are dead?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, I picked up what you're putting down, but also somehow she actually convinced her husband to move. Obviously, she didn't tell him that it was to be closer to her lover, but either way, he agreed and they packed up and shipped out. Honestly, though, I just don't understand some people. They don't make sense. Shortly after relocating, Frederick became ill with gastric fever and died. Now that he was out of the way, Nattrass soon becomes Mary's lodger. She got a job as a nurse again and started having the sex with a patient by the surname Quick Manning. Got it? Yeah, Quick Manning. I wouldn't mind a Quick Manning.
Also, I think she just really likes penis. The penis.
Yeah, she likes the penis.
Yeah, because also if she's a nurse, and I know some nurses have to like wash down patients and stuff like that, so she just goes, oh, that's a nice penis, I might jump on that later.
Do you know what? I have to be deathly honest. If I was in that sort of position, I was giving it a clean and it kind of stood to attention, I might end up getting aroused. I'm not kidding, I might. But I wouldn't do anything, because maybe I would.
Depending on the situation, you mean.
Yeah, it's situational. But this guy...
With their consent, obviously.
Well, of course.
Obviously.
Unless they're asleep, it applies... No, I'm kidding. No, but I believe that this place was like a clinic for like smallpox and stuff. So I'm not about to get jiggy with it.
No, thank you.
You know what I mean? Anyway, wouldn't you know it, she got preggers again.
Oh.
With number 12.
Oh.
Jesus.
Didn't think she had it in her. Oh, apparently she did.
In March of 1872, Frederick's son, Frederick Jr., died following her infant child, Robert. Yeah, because the last 2 kids that he had alive when he got married to her,
yeah,
one of them is now dead, and then the son that she just had also passed away. Nattrass ended up following suit and would also pass away from gastric fever.
Oh, shit.
Now, this whole time, you have either been in one of 2 camps. 1, how unlucky this poor lady has been. All of her loved ones dying, and I feel really bad for her. Or you are not a fucking idiot, and you have been onto the snow roach from the beginning. And if you chose number 2, then we can still be friends. Did you choose number 2? You went number 1. Oh my God. I can't lose this friendship.
Oh, it's already done.
I've only got 2.
No, you've only got one, thank you, remember? Well, benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe your killer for this week was the old, whatever that bug was, is fucking killing everybody.
Typhus.
Yeah, whatevs.
Look, there was one piece of crucial information that I left out on purpose. And that was that most of the people who died either had life insurance taken out of them by Mary or had taken life insurance out on themselves at her request.
Not her kids as well? Did she kill her kids?
Her downfall came when she was asked by a parish official, Thomas Riley, to help her nurse a woman who had smallpox. She complained that Charles Edward, the last surviving Cotton child, was in the way and asked if he could be committed to a workhouse. Thomas said that if this was to happen, she would need to accompany him, and she told Thomas that the boy was sickly and added, "I won't be troubled long. He'll go like all the rest of the Cottons."
Okay.
Why would she say that?
Okay.
5 days later, Mary informed Thomas that Charles had passed away. Yeah.
Bitch.
But he actually took that information right over to the village police, and he also convinced the doctor to delay writing a death certificate until the death could be properly investigated. So the fact that he did that made my heart sing. I was like, yep, that's
Yeah.
the right thing.
Good job.
Right? That's 100% the right thing. Instead of calling a doctor upon the death of Charles, she actually called the insurance office.
Of course she did.
No surprise there, right? But she was big mad when they told her that there was no money to collect until the death certificate was issued. Unfortunately, an inquest was held and the jury agreed that the death was from natural causes. And she told them that the only reason Thomas had said anything in the first place was because she had rejected his advances. Oh, yeah, right, because your mangled minge is a real treat.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone wants a part of that.
I don't want that Laffy Taffy.
No Laffy Taffy.
But then something good happened. The local newspaper caught wind of the story and discovered that she had moved around a fuck ton and that 3 of her husbands had died. 1 of her lovers, her friend, her mother, and 11 children, all of which were related to stomach fevers. Ain't no coinkydink, baby. It was considered rumor at first, which quickly turned into suspicion and then into a forensic inquiry. The doctor who attended to Charles had kept samples which tested positive for...
I forgot the name of it.
It's not thallium.
Thallium.
Were you going to thallium?
Cyanide. I don't know. Triangle. House?
A.
Arsenic? Triangle. Oh my
Charades.
god, is it arsenic? I just thought of that myself. You're welcome.
You're amazing.
Oh my god.
Who tested positive for arsenic. He took this information to the police, who subsequently arrested Mary.
Bye, Felicia.
The trial, however, was slightly delayed as they waited until the birth of her 12th child, the only one that didn't die at Mary's hands. Her trial began on March 5th, 1873, and she tried to claim that they only found arsenic in Charles' system because he had inhaled it from the wallpaper in their home. Convincing story. You old mare. But the jury retired for 90 minutes before coming back and finding her guilty and sentencing her to death.
Good.
Roughly 21 people died from poisoning by Mary, and some people think that could have been more.
Well, it took them how long to clue on that she was killing all of her children and her partners, and yeah.
And no
would
one-
not be surprised.
Like, I don't know if... Because, this is old information, so... I don't know if she did actually claim insurance on all of them,
Yeah.
or if she had killed some, realized how easy it was to get away with, and then started doing insurance on them before killing them. I don't know. Mary Ann Cotton was hanged on March 1873, and this is kind of grim, and maybe it says more about me, but I was happy to hear that they had intentionally rigged the rope to make it too short so that when she dropped, her neck didn't actually break, and she instead died of strangulation.
Good.
Riddance.
Beach.
Fun fact, they made a few different rhymes about her, but this was by far my fave, because also it's like the smallest one. Mary Ann Cotton, she's dead and forgotten. She lives in her coffin with her finger up her bottom.
I like that.
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's great though.
And that, pumpkin tits, was the story of Mary Ann Cotton, the Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson, eat your heart out.
Oh, you did take me on a wild ride there, especially being 1800s. I was like, yeah, in my mind, I was like, oh, that's really sad. All these people are dying, and now she's going to turn into this murderous thing and just go around town killing everyone.
Because when you're reading it, a lot of it does just sound like she had the worst luck, and all of these people that she loved were dying.
Did it say why she killed the children and stuff, or
No.
was it just possible?
I think it was
life insurance?
greed. I think
Yeah.
it was greed. Unfortunately, she's kind of similar to episode 10. A different drug, of course, and more people than Martha killed, but
Yeah,
yeah.
crazy. No, thank you.
No, thank you. But thank you for listening, everyone, and we hope to...
What? What? Hear you soon? I'm so confused.
Bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.